Submission Radio here with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson ahead of UFC 244 at Madison Square Garden, brought to you by Musashi. And Stephen, I'm going to mix things up a little bit right now.
Mix it up.
I want to bring the big man into the interview right now. I want to bring in the big man, Ray. Upside Karate. Let's make this real right now. Ray, you're in Madison Square Garden where your son's about to fight Vicente. What's it mean for you to see him make this return? A return that many people maybe wouldn't have made after that Anthony Pettis. He had the positive attitude, the big return. How's it feeling right now?
Well, it's amazing, first of all, being in New York City. New York City is like our home away from home. Wonderboy spends a lot of time here. We love that. But being in Madison Square Garden, this is his third trip here. I mean, it's just as exciting today as it was in the first Woodley fight, being at Madison Square Garden. It's an epic arena. The greats, we're walking in the halls of the greats. Your Muhammad Ali's, your Mike Tyson's, all the performers.
Your Stephen Thompson's.
Oh, yeah, Stephen Thompson. Yeah, so it's just wonderful just being in the room.
Stephen, what does it feel like for you to have your dad here? And he's obviously going to be here on fight night, right?
Oh yeah, he's there. He's been in my corner how many fights have we had?
Almost 80 fights.
Almost 80 fights. He hasn't missed one.
What is it like to have your father in the corner, right? I imagine it's almost like a good thing and bad thing at the same time. Like, it's good to have that familiar voice, but in some ways, does it make you guys nervous? And is it nerving for you to sort of corner your own son?
Well, of course it's nerve-wracking, but it's not as bad as some may think, because, like I said, this is almost our 80th fight. And this guy's got skills. I know he's got skills. He's tough. He's a handsome fella, too, so that helps a little bit.
Doesn't age.
Yeah.
This guy.
But to be here and it, it gets me a little bit, but I know he's a warrior. He's a professional athlete. He's trained all his life, all but about 3 years. So yeah, I just know he's ready.
One of the great things is, Stephen, you started this YouTube channel, and we've been able to look into the back. First of all, you do all the faces. I think you got it from your dad, because I saw him doing it in the background of some of our interviews. Look at it, there it is right there. But then we got to see your relationship with the family, how you guys get along, the training that you guys do. You're on a holiday, you're pushing him down on a beach, he's running up and down through the sand dunes. I mean, what's it been like to sort of let people in and show them the dynamic behind the Thompson family and what you guys actually do behind the scenes?
Well, Wonderboy's a star. He has fans, and we want to develop that. We want to make our fans happy. So, we let him in. We let him in to see what he does and what his life's like out from behind the camera. Of course, we put him in front of the camera, but we want them to see what it's like when he's not during training camp, when he's even on vacation. So
there's literally not a vacation where I have not trained, or we're always training. We're a fight family. I mean, I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We all started at 3. I got 11 nieces and nephews, all started at 3 years old. So it's just what we do, man. We're a fight family, martial arts family, and that's what brings us closer together.
And you guys also have, obviously, Chris Weidman as a part of the family. Just quickly before we break down your fight, your reactions to the difficult night that he had against Dominic Reyes. A lot of people really shocked and saddened by what happened in that one.
Yeah, man, Chris Weidman's a warrior. He doesn't take any easy fights, for sure. Going up the weight class, fighting Dominic Reyes. I mean, he looked great, and his last few losses, he was winning the fight. Getting the takedowns in. He did against Yoel Romero and Jacare Souza. He was winning and just ended up getting caught. But it's heartbreaking to see. But I know he's a warrior as well, and we're in this game. And I was there a few months ago. So he's got a good circle of people and friends around him, family around him, to keep him positive and keep moving forward. I don't think we've seen the last of Chris Weidman, though.
I'm wondering, sort of, when you look at this fight against Vicente Luque, how important is this one for your career? Obviously, coming off the losses, I don't think you've ever had 2 back-to-back, losses, and sort of having to come back from that.
You know what? The only fight that I actually felt like I lost was my second fight against Matt Brown and my last fight against Anthony Pettis. The 2 Tyron fights and the Till fight, I felt like I won those fights. So this last fight really hit me because I lost it legitimately. I got knocked out. Never been knocked out before. So we made sure we took the time off the summer to make sure everything's healed up. But it lit a fire in me, for sure. to get back in the gym, train as hard as I can. Vicente Luque is a tough opponent, man. He's taking some shots and keeps moving forward for sure. He's got good timing, good counters with his hands, and he's very well-rounded. But wherever the fight goes, I'm gonna be ready for it.
Ray, I'm wondering, we were speaking about this to your son on the show, but people saying, Steven, he's older, he doesn't have the second run in him, he's not as good as what people say he is. There's a lot of negative talk on the internet after a loss. Your message to the fans right now who think that, look in the camera and give him the lowdown.
Well, nobody knows Wonder Boy like I do. He trains harder today than he did 3 years ago, 2 years ago. He's actually faster and he's stronger. Can't count him out. I mean, you got greats like Randy Couture, and you got greats like DC. These guys, even Damian Maia. He's 41. He's wrecking. He's in the game. This guy's young.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Not even close to the last.
Do you feel like this is the first time you sort of face a guy in a long time that's been a sort of up-and-comer? Because for a long time, you were that up-and-comer. You were climbing the ranks, facing harder and harder and harder guys. And it seems like for the first time, Vicente is that young prospect sort of, trying to make a name off you. How does that sort of feel?
I think it's pretty cool. I was in his shoes not too long ago. Moving up the rankings, fighting Jake Ellenberger, Johnny Hendricks, trying to make a name for myself and move up to fight for the title. He's doing the same thing. He called me out after his last fight against Mike Perry. So I'm here to answer his call. I think it's the wrong person to call out, but, we're going to go out there and do work anyway.
Obviously, the BMF title on the line, and a guy that you know very well, Masvidal, up on that stage just shortly. What's it do to you guys to see a guy that you were able, to beat up there, fighting for the BMF title, getting all the spotlight, and possibly, who knows,
fighting for a title?
And it was in this very arena as well.
Yeah, it sure was. I think it's kind of inspiring for me because I did beat him at UFC 217. And to see him right here at Madison Square Garden, to see him come after that with 2 good wins, after this, if he beats Diaz, could be up for a title shot, inspires me. Hey, man, after 2 good wins for me, I could be fighting for the title this time next year.
I'm wondering, there was a point where we thought Nate wouldn't make the fight. Was there ever a talk in the team?
Yeah.
Ray, I know you're a smart guy. This man's ready to go. Vicente is a tough challenge, but the Rock, the main event, the BMF title, it's all too much. We can take this guy right now.
Oh, yeah, we definitely could. We definitely put our name out there to do so. We got back real quick that Diaz is definitely going to fight, but we thought we definitely put our name in.
We got a hold of our management. As soon as we heard, we got a hold of our management. Management got a hold of UFC, said, put us in there. We're ready to go. We'll take a 5-rounder. We'll fill the slot. Well, of course, they were all about the Nate and Masvidal fight, which I don't blame them. That's what the people want to see. But we're definitely there.
What would that have meant for you to hold the BMF belt? I don't know if that title would still be up for grabs. Oh, it'd be kind of ironic, right? You're like one of the nicest guys in MMA.
I know. You're going through a nice off right now.
I know, a nice off. That's
South Carolina gangster.
But you know what? What matters to me is actually that real welterweight belt. I mean, the BMF belt, if I won it or whatever, I think it'd be cool, but it wouldn't be anything like holding that UFC championship belt.
There's only one belt.
Well, I'm wondering, Ray, Colby Covington, he's a colourful character. What do you think? We've spoken to Stephen about this, but what do you think of his persona and sort of what he's pushing across as he's going to the title?
He's trying too hard. He's trying too hard. It's about the money, and he wants the title because when you get the title, it's about the money. But I think he's just trying way too hard, and he's just being to a large degree obnoxious.
Yeah, you got those guys that fans love to hate, and he's definitely one of them.
He created that image for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you see guys like Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor in his earlier days. You see him talk trash. You can tell, that they meant it. That they have the gift of gab, and that's just something Colby doesn't have.
Would there be an incentive sort of for you to face a guy like that just because of your background and the way that you come across and the image that you want to set? It would be kind of like a good guy versus bad guy. You'd be almost proving a point in a sense, right?
Yeah, we would love to. I wouldn't mind it at all. I know he's facing Usman here coming up, but I got Usman winning that fight. Both very similar fighters too, but I wouldn't mind that at all.
That would be a Cobra Kai situation.
Yeah.
The good versus the bad. The guys, as we wrap up, because we don't want to be too greedy with your time. I'm going to go to both of you. First with you, Ray. What can people expect from the Stephen Thompson 3.0 chapter that kicks off this weekend at Madison Square Garden?
Well, for sure, you're going to see the usual in shape, strong, fast, explosive Wonder Boy. I'm not going to give too much away, but there's going to be a little extra level of danger. So I'll just leave it at that.
You know, I don't like going out predicting anything. A knockout, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm ready for a 3 5-minute round war. 2 stand-up masters ready to do battle Saturday.
A family reunion going down before the big fight. I feel like we're a part of the family, right?
You
I
are,
don't know.
man.
Yeah.
You
Australian
are.
cousins. We want to come down. We want to
Come
be a
on.
part of it all. We're going to have to organize it. But
Sounds
for
good
now,
to me. We'll show you around.
For now, of course, Stephen Thompson, Vicente, Madison Square Garden this weekend. Best of luck, guys. We can't wait
Thanks,
to see what
guys.
happens.
Appreciate it.